Alright. Well, my health got pretty messed up in the last video, so I figured I'd get some more health by going and getting a hooker. Which, when I was younger, was one of my favorite things about this game. That getting a hooker actually restored your health. And it was also just a fun thing to do. It was cool that you could do that. I mean, it's supposed to be this, like, New York City-based game. Yeah, and it's supposed to be like a really debauched and everything. Gangs and all that. And there would be hookers. And it's cool that you can actually pick them up. And that's a gang car. It's just funny to watch that happen. Just run up, steal somebody's car, and then everything turns into complete chaos. But yeah, other gang cars, if they're around, they'll smash into you and all that. Although, I'm sure the guy originally driving would be a little pissed off if you're fucking up his car. But the Diablos, sometimes when you steal their vehicles, they'll yell burrito at you. Which is funny because they're supposed to be Hispanic or Mexican, whatever. Oh yeah, I have no weapons except for the shotgun that I got from just getting inside of a police car. You can see the subway driving overhead, which is cool. But yeah, my quest to get a hooker was unsuccessful for several minutes, actually, for quite a while. They just would not get in my car. And you have to have a specific car to get hookers in it, as like everybody knows, because everybody did this. When I first played this game, this was all anyone talked about when it came to this game. It would be like talk about, yeah, you know, did you blow this up? How many stars did you get? And then just go right to, have you gotten the hookers? And then if you hadn't, which was like nobody, but if you hadn't gotten a hooker, you know, that even if you had, that was, you know, it was just, that was the conversation for like the next 20 minutes. When you're like, well, I was 11 when this game came out. I don't think I played it till I was 12. Okay, and I'm not sure what happened there. The hooker was about to get in my car, and then some dude, like, walked into her, and then she started chasing him. And then he kept running, and she dived out of the way of my car. I'd rather pick the white one anyway. This one always looked like Nina from Tekken to me, the white hookers. You have the white and the black hookers, and when I was younger, I would only pick up the white ones because I just thought they were hotter. Because the black ones had that huge, like, Foxy Cleopatra afro. Yeah, I was sitting there honking the horn. She just would not get in the car, so I decided to beat everyone with a baseball bat. I remember I had a friend who was not allowed to play this game because his parents saw that you could beat people with a baseball bat while they were on the ground. Here's some more advertisements. I'm not sure what that bloody choppers thing is. I don't remember that one. When I was going up to this, I hadn't seen that. Well, I'm sure I'd seen it, but I didn't recognize it, I mean. But yeah, I had a really hard time getting the hookers into the car. Because they wouldn't get in the car, or some stupid shit would happen like that, how that dude just walked into the hooker and they all ran off. But I remember when I got this game, when I finally owned it, I was about 12 or 13. It was 2003, so it was 12 or 13. And I was the only one that had it, because no one else was allowed to play this game in, like, my entire neighborhood, because we were all so young. And, you know, it was Grand Theft Auto 3, which now, it doesn't really mean what it used to at all. It's just a game that, like, everybody knows about, everyone's played, everyone knows it started the whole open world sandbox thing that became really popular. I guess I just decided to beat her up for not getting in my car. That's a Diablo. Gang members normally have weapons. God, that bat is fucking me up. Oh yeah, here's something annoying that happens with the shotgun. If you get too close with the shotgun, sometimes they'll just punch you. Sometimes your guy will just punch instead of shoot the gun. And the reason I got in the ambulance is because it gives you 20 health when you get in the ambulance. I didn't realize that the games did that certain vehicles will give you certain things when you got in the car for the longest time. I knew that if you got into a police car, it automatically gave you like 5 shells to a shotgun. But I remember getting into an argument with some friends of mine years ago about it, because they were saying if you get in an ambulance, it gives you some health. If you get in a SWAT car, it gives you some armor. And I was like, no, it doesn't. And I was all like, we were playing it at my house because, you know, no one else was allowed to play it. And I remember thinking, like, I'm going to prove you wrong. And then, sure enough, they were right. And then I started using that exploit all the time. And I just ran past the car, just abandoned. But yeah, as I was saying, just nobody had this game. I was the only one allowed to play it. And because, you know, Grand Theft Auto 3 got all kinds of a negative press, and it got nothing but good reviews from, you know, people that actually played video games. But oh shit, though, I get busted here. It was a little while ago that I recorded this. I like those loading screens of all the characters. So yeah, this is a cutscene I actually hadn't watched in a while because you can skip it. But I think it's kind of interesting. I don't know why it just showed a Diablo car drive off and then a bunch of cop cars crash into each other. I don't even think you can get the SWAT after you. These are the SWAT guys. Until you've opened up the second island. I remember me and my friends playing this. We were always trying to get 6 stars, but we hadn't opened up all the islands, and you can't get 6 stars until you open up all the islands. And I didn't realize that until I had you know, well, opened up all the islands. Yeah, sometimes police cars are locked. I got released from prison just to immediately start fist fighting not a prisoner, a cop. But I keep getting distracted. But yeah, the story is, my house was the house that everyone came to play Grand Theft Auto 3, and later Vice City when that came out. But I had this one first, like everyone else. Well, I don't know, maybe. Vice City was a little bit more popular, I think. But, yeah, I actually got pretty popular among the dudes in the neighborhood, because there were a lot of younger guys living in the neighborhood that I lived in. And no one had Grand Theft Auto 3. No one was allowed to play it. So everyone's coming over to my house to play it. And we would all just take turns passing the controller around, screwing around until we died. No one ever came over to my house and played the missions. I did play the missions. I liked playing the missions, and I still do. I still like screwing around as well. But this game was just like the screwing around game, and I ended up just screwing around a lot in this video, just trying to get a hooker, and then I died, and I just started fighting people. And I don't even need a hooker anymore, because when you die, your health goes up to 100. Well, I didn't die, I got busted, but I didn't want to get busted or die, because you lose all your weapons and everything. And later on, that doesn't mean so much, because if you get all the hidden packages, or at least a lot of them, you start getting weapons at your hideout for free that you can just run and get. It doesn't really matter if you die, because you can just run and go get the respawning weapons at your hideout. But I don't feel like getting all the hidden packages just yet, though I probably will, or at least most of them. That didn't go right. I do like how the taxi drivers will go and punch you and try and pull you out of your car, out of their car. Taxi drivers are some of the only ones that'll do that, other than, you know, cops and, you know, people that are aggressive towards you. I never listen to the rap stations. The rap stations probably have all kinds of shit I've never heard. I've heard everything on the radio 100 times. But except for a few stations, and the rap station's one of the biggest ones, because I just don't like that music at all. I don't know why I hadn't changed it yet. Oh yeah, I'm trying to get his weapon, because I don't have any. And I'm not going to be using any cheats in the Let's Play, and I'm not going to probably ever use cheats if I'm just going to play the regular game ever again, because it takes out so much of the fun, I feel like, if you're playing the game, the missions legitimately. Now, if you're just screwing around, yeah, put in some cheats, bullshit up with a rocket launcher, all kinds of shit like that. That's a lot of fun to do. And that's what me and my friends would do. And this is something I like. How after bodies disappear, you have the chalk outline, and sometimes there's still blood in the chalk outline, which looks cool. I actually remember me and a friend of mine back probably in like 2003 talking about how we thought that was cool. And I think I finally get an insane stunt bonus here. Or not. If you don't land it, you don't get the money. I always like driving through that glass. And there's the first hidden package. I didn't collect all the hidden packages till like 2010 or 11 when I found some video on YouTube that shows in great detail where they all are. Before that, I think I had only collected like maybe 10 or 20 of them. I think this is where I finally get a hooker. But yeah, well, some of my biggest memories with this game are just passing the controller around with the cheats on with like a room full of 4 or 5 guys, and just killing people, and that had never happened to me right there. A hooker got into somebody else's car. I don't think I had ever seen that before. It's really interesting that I got that recorded. So yeah, I finally have a hooker now. I need some health anyway from screwing around. It'll also take you past max health. It'll take you up to 125, but you gotta find a secluded place. In Portland, it's really easy. Just go back to the hideout. Oh, yeah, see, this is what I was talking about, how it just kept going wrong. I ended up running over a cop, so I got 2 stars. And 2 stars don't just go away after a while. You have to go to the pay and spray or find a bribe, which is just a floating blue police star. That I actually know where one is in the city, but the pay and spray was right there. Yeah, I need some help. Oh, that's $1,000, and I barely had any money here. Yeah, what's also interesting about this game is how there's no markings on the map for the pay and spray or ammunition. And there's no larger map you can look at either. It makes this game a lot harder, but I actually like that. So here's the thing that every like 13-year-old knew about and was obsessed with. And in video games, at the time, this kind of shit was just not in video games. Well, I guess you had, you know, Colonel Custer's Revenge or whatever a long time ago, where you just go around raping Indian girls. But yeah, you pull up and the hooker in the car, and the car rocks like they're having sex. And that last little rock always makes me laugh. But they just sit there, which is, I always thought was lame, but you know, it was innovative at the time. So I'm sure nobody's familiar with this phenomenon. After you get a hooker and get your health back up, just kill her and get your money back. I like them doing this in the rain. But yeah, this was something that was just so widely talked about among all my friends and among like everybody that ever played the game. This was just something everyone talked about. I was actually listening to the Opie and Anthony show like a little while ago, and I was listening to them talk about video games, and this was an old broadcast, and they were talking about when they played Grand Theft Auto 3 and it was new, and sure enough, one of the first things they talked about was getting a hooker and then killing her and getting all your money back. Yeah, there's some Playboy bunnies and then Woodies. And here's something I don't know that I had seen before, the 24-hour orgy free buffet. And the hooker came back from the dead and started walking the streets, so I had to kill her again, among a few other people. Pimp ran off, so fuck him.
Luigi said to give you this, so here, take it.
There's a new high on the street. Goes by the name of Spank. Some wise guy's been introducing this trash to my girls down Portland Harbor. Go and introduce a bat to his face. Then take his car, respray it. I want compensation for this insult.
I don't really know what's up with the getting your mission briefing through letters. There's a bat that I had no need, but yeah, Luigi only does it one time, but later on, in this island, you start getting missions from a guy where there's a ton of all your missions are just left through letters. I don't really know what the deal with that is. I don't like it very much. It's not nearly as interesting, but it doesn't happen that much after that guy that I'm talking about. Yeah, I like Luigi. I like his character. I like the guy that voices him. I think his actor is his name's Joey Pantoliano. I'm not sure how to say his last name, but he's an actor I really like. He always plays like a mafia gangster guy, and I normally like his character and everything. So yeah, here, really easy missions from Luigi. I mean, it's the very first guy, so what do you expect? I had to kill his horse. Actually, those are Luigi's whores, I realize now, because, yeah, that was a drug dealer selling spank to, Luigi's prostitutes, and that guy was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. So, yeah, I just killed a couple of Luigi's girls and a drug dealer, but whatever. Yeah, Luigi's missions are pretty much all tutorial-based, just, you know, that was just to show you how combat works pretty much, and what it's like to get from point A to point B with the Drive Misty. Or whatever the hell the first mission was called. Where you just go pick up Misty. And this is showing you how to use the pay and spray, but I already used it. And this song right here, I will always think of an ex-girlfriend I had. But it's not like an emotional thing at all anymore. It's just a funny memory now. But I had this girlfriend for like 2 years almost. And then I found out she was moving, and I was really into playing this game around the time she was going to move. And I remember this song, when it would play, because the lyrics, they're pretty depressed, and it's talking about, like, losing things, and it would just make me think of her and how she was going to be gone, and I would get super depressed and really, like, unsettled, so I just completely stopped listening to this station. Actually, I don't know if that's true. I remember trying to avoid the emotion, but I would also like get really wrapped up in the emotion when listening to this song, because I do kind of like it even now, and I kind of liked it then too. It's one of the catchier songs, I think. But I don't completely remember how I reacted before she moved, but I remember after she moved, I just could not hear this. I couldn't even really play the game. I'd get so depressed I just wouldn't even want to play. And there's even more about that later on. I love the bone crunching sound. It always makes me think of that mission in GoldenEye with the tank. I couldn't get out. Oh, there you go. See, 4,000 for that. You get a lot of money for missions. Way more than you do in any other game. Because in Vice City, I remember, you don't start getting 1,000 until later on. I remember I would complete a mission, it'd be like $300, and I remember being like, what the hell is this shit when I first played it, because, you beat a mission in Grand Theft Auto 3, and it's like, it's easily like 30,000-40,000 on this island, with one of the newest bosses. I mean, with one of the first bosses, anyway. I'm not completely sure where I'm going right now. Probably just back to Luigi's. I love doing that. It's so fun when the car rolls and the top of the car rolls over somebody just walking on the street and crushes them. Driving people over was a lot of fun in this game. I mean, just driving around in this game is still a lot of fun. Okay, here's where I finally get an insane stunt bonus. And then I drive onto the subway tracks. I remember seeing an advertisement for this game when it was a new game, like I don't even think it had come out yet. And that was in the advertisement. It showed a car jumping in slow motion, and I didn't know if that would actually be in the game or not, but yeah, it was just the screen you get when you do an insane stunt bonus, but I'll always think of that.
Hey, do you look okay?
I like how the characters react to explosions and shit. I tried to get the explosion on camera, but I thought it wasn't going to blow up, and then, of course, as soon as I turn away, it blows up. But it's funny to listen to everyone's comical screams and just walking past people in the city, all the weird shit they say. They talk to each other, they talk to you, everyone's an asshole. I really like it. It just really creates its own world. This game has so much personality. I jumped over the marker.
On a combo. What am I gonna do? Leave. Hey, I gotta talk to you. All right, Mick. I'll talk to you later. How you doing, kid? The Don's son, Joey Leone. He wants some action from his regular girl, Misty. Go pick her up at Hepburn Heights, but watch yourself. That's Diablo turf. Then run her over to his garage in Trenton and make it quick. Joey ain't the kind you keep waiting. Remember, this is your foot in the door. So keep your eyes on the road and off Misty.
The mission difficulty, it's pretty funny. It goes from 1 to 10 pretty fast. It starts off pretty... Well, honestly, it starts off ridiculously easy with Luigi. None of Luigi's missions should give anyone any trouble. They didn't give me any trouble when I was like 12 years old. And I was horrible at video games for a long time. Well, when I was 12, I wasn't as bad as I normally as I used to be. But when I very first started playing this game, I was fucking horrible. I couldn't drive the car without destroying it at all. But tried to take it off the ramp. I didn't realize that Misty's just right there. But yeah, the missions start getting really fucking hard later on. Especially towards the end of the game. There's some really fucking hard missions. Yeah, Misty is a stupid character. Well, okay, there's nothing wrong with her as a character. It's just her dialogue is annoying, and her voice is annoying.
You want a regular for Luigi now, huh? It's about time you got a driver we can trust.
Shut up. Oh, she doesn't really annoy me that much. She's just... that voice, like, it's about time we got a driver we can trust. You know? So, I gotta drive her to Diablo Toy. What's funny about Misty is she's such a minor character. She's in a couple of missions in the beginning that are just tutorial missions, and she's just a character that exists as a reason to make your character go to places. That's it. And then eventually she's completely forgotten about. But she is on like all the promotional art for this game, and she's on the loading screens as well. She's the chick that with the cheeky expression holding the gun. You know, she has all this, like, in-game art and all this promotion. She's pretty much the mascot of the game, and she's such a minor character. It's weird. Yeah, that's her in the middle there.
I'll be with you in a minute, Sparkplug. Hey, I'm Joey. Luigi said you were reliable, so come back later. There might be some work for you. All right?
Hey, yo, I'm Michael Rapaport. Alright, yeah, that's what I'm talking about with Misty. She's annoying. And Misty and Joey both have a lot of stupid, like, sexual innuendos that using the garage talk and car talk. It's pretty stupid, and the well runs pretty dry pretty quick. But, I'll be with you in a minute there, Sparkplug. Gotta get this hidden package. Sparkplug.